Hello everyone, we have our news for the week, so let's take a look. Maintenance, normal time as usual, and ending with maintenance is the only event running, which is Checkmate. So if you haven't finished that, you have till maintenance to finish up. So new this week is our 2 premium global original units for Black Friday. So we have our login there, 30 shards each. We're also getting the producer's present. So 2,000 lapis, 1 transcension pearl, 1 bonus present ticket, 5 million gil, 15 max cactors. So that's just a one-time present, and then we're going to be getting some more of the lapis replica, and we're going to start getting the tickets as well. So in the live stream, they said the more tickets you use, the more lapis replica you get per ticket. So we're going to get some for logging in. There should be some from events. There's definitely some from bundles. And the shop for this is going to open up as well. So it's going to be our 3rd lapis replica shop. Other than that, some usual tickets and everything else. So the normal login stuff overall. We have our exchange shops. So the 2 new units are premium, which means their shards are not here, but they're doing the rate up with the other units, and we do have some shards for the other units. So we got Dark Lineage Laswell, who is technically premium too. And then we have the new Yish, Saz, Genesis for shards in the shop there. Then you'll be able to do your usual pity and everything. It looks like they'll have other units there, and then obviously we're going to have our 15 ticket summon. And we'll have the special limited card banner as well. So miscellaneous updates. Essentially, they're just adding the Clash of Wills Ice and Earth categories and adding those to the units that need it. So a little bit of boost there as far as being able to make teams with those leaders. So this here, new shop, pretty much the same as what we've seen already. It looks like they're doing a little bonus gift on the 10 Neovision summon. You'll be able to get 10 Emperors and some VIP coins as a bonus, aside from just the 10 Neovisions. Seasonal 10+1 ticket. Every Lapis replica has had one of those. And then that's just trade the tickets in for the Lapis replica. So for our special summons, so curated bonus units. So it looks like the 4 units that are also rate up on the banner are Laswell, Genesis, Yish, and Saz. So you collect 15 tickets, you'll be able to summon for one of those. They're also doing the step up with the fragment tickets. So we've seen those a bunch, nothing new there. For Black Friday, they're bringing back the summon units and random lapis. So we've seen this a few times already. It's a cash banner. You get a random amount of lapis and 8 units essentially with high Neovision rate. So they show the rates at the lapis amounts that you'll be able to get. Obviously, the higher the lapis is the lowest percentage. But that's the same that we've had run a few times. We get a bunch of Black Friday bundles. So the bundles are pretty much everything we've seen before. They're just adding in the Lapis replica exchange tickets to them. But I think from the live stream, it looked like the pricing and everything is exactly the same. They're just adding in the ticket as the bonus Black Friday version. So we have our big bundle and then the lesser version. So it's like $100 half price and then half of that, I believe. But it's all the bundles we've seen before, and Hill of Fortune is the same as usual. They didn't add the special ticket that I could see into that. It's just the exact same bundle we've always had run. And the special exchange shops. So just like the others, there's going to be a unit of choice and then fragment tickets to buy. So we have these extra bundles, extra shops to use those tickets. They don't give us a full list, but it does look like the units are going to be fairly close to current. And then it looks like we're going to have our Black Friday Vision Card exchange. And it doesn't look like they're having the limited cards in there, which makes that a waste, especially because we have the other shops and tickets for using from the premium units. And on the unit choice, they do show the new Esper units. So we should be fairly close as far as what we can choose from the unit of the choice from the new shop. As far as campaigns, so we're going to get a 14+1 summon, free every week. It's going to be 1 guaranteed Neovision, and then the 14 is going to be 5-star base or Neovision with a 3% Neovision rate. 6 total weeks. The last 2 weeks have the same pool, but free summons are nice, especially with a guaranteed Neovision in there. And then they're doing their regular Lapis bonuses. So this is essentially if you're buying just flat Lapis and not doing these special bundles, you get a little extra bonus. So they've done that a few times before. I think it still ends up better to get the bundles. We have our new vision cards. So 3 new cards, 1 from each unit, and then we have the limited global card. So first up from Hyoh, 170 attack and magic, 80% attack and magic, 100% limit damage, 50% killer for demon, human, machine, and 650 flat attack and magic with fire and ice resist at 50%, and everything is locked to Clash of Wills fire. So not just fire, it's the Clash of Wills fire only. So a decent card for Clash of Will fire units. And then from Frost, 170 attack and defense, 80% attack and defense, 100% limit damage, and 650 flat attack and defense for Clash of Wills only. So this is a pretty good card for physical attackers because it also gives them some defense bulk. And then we have the limited card. So this has its special banner. So 140 attack, 80% attack, 500 flat attack, and 100% limit damage for anybody. 40% fire and ice resist, and physical killer 50% for human and machine. And then just for the new Hyoh and Frost, 1000 flat attack. So it's a situation just like Chow. Essentially, this is going to be the best card for both Hyoh and Frost. And everybody else is just an okay card. They at least get the flat attack from 500 from it. So a little bit of killers. So it's not a bad card overall. Definitely best for those 2 new units though. Not really a fan of doing the best card for a certain unit as a limited thing though. For events, we're getting a story event, which will pretty much tell us the story of Hyoh, or how Rain became Hyoh and his adventure there. So items we get from this, it's a helm, 45 attack and defense, nullifies silence, 20% evasion, and 50% attack when using a fist or a large sword. Not bad because it's 20% evasion on a helm with 45 defense. That's actually pretty decent for evade uses. Accessory, 30 defense and spirit, 25 ice resist and guts. So this is going to come down to what the percentage on the guts is. If it's a high percent at a low health requirement, then that would be pretty useful as well. Materia is going to be good for Hyoh and not so great for everybody else. So everybody will be able to get 25% attack and magic and 25% killer for demon, human, and machine. And then just Hyoh will get 50% attack and magic and 50% to the killers. So full power for Hyoh, everybody else gets half power. And looks like no extra challenge outside of the story event itself. Although on the live stream, they did say that the final boss will have a hard mode that we can trigger if we want for an extra challenge. And there's not going to be any extra rewards for doing that, so it's just going to be if you want to do the challenge or not. And we have our clash information here. So machine, human, demon. Weakness is fire, ice, water, and light. Uses mostly physical attacks, which we haven't had a physical attacker in a while. Mostly we've been using a lot of magic tanks for everything. So this looks like we want a physical attack. We'll do fixed damage attacks. Heals itself, so it's probably going to be a decently long fight. Reduces party's healing, which hasn't been too much of an issue in the past. Will imbue itself with fire and reduce fire on the party. Still doing physical damage, so most likely it's going to have a bunch of accuracy as well, so we can't just evade everything. So bonus morale is going to be for boosting fire or ice damage, which makes this seem like they really want us to do a fire or ice team, even though we do have a bunch of choices on the elements there. Special ability that what they're going to give us for morale percentage is 150 fire and ice resist, which they don't mention it doing any kind of ice damage, so that's definitely there for the fire. But yeah, they're not worried about the number of turns for the score. It's going to be final morale value, which generally means we're probably going over 10 turns for the most part, and I think it's about turn 16 to 18 or so when most of these fill morale so much that you need to do it before that, or otherwise you lose score on the final morale. We get the new pass bundle. I've always skipped those. And then nothing really new as far as the shop and the items there. And we can take a look at the banner. So they do actually share a banner, which helps people that want to go for them. 17 tickets for pity. And as expected, we have the special vision card banner. So you do get the 5 pity tickets for doing the vision card step up. And then there's one of the 115 tickets in there as well. Obviously, secondary units have the rate up on all the banners. So then after that, they do have a regular banner to go through to get the rest of the pity tickets if you want to go to pity. Looks like there's going to be 4 tickets per lap. So it looks like if you do the card step up, you'll still have to run through 3 times to be able to pity 1 unit. But they do also have this other step up that's going to be 1 time only. And this has 1 of them guaranteed at the end. So I believe this is like 36,000 or so. So yeah, 36,000 will get you either of them guaranteed at the end. But the downside is it does have the 115 tickets, but this does not have any pity tickets. So if you go this route to get 1 of them guaranteed, you lose out on pity tickets completely. It does have the bonus items there as well and the 115 stuff though. And for a premium unit, obviously that is a lot cheaper. It's just you're not guaranteed to get the one that you actually want. So for the units, we have Hyoh, who is a Brave Shift. His base does have a CG limit burst. So his base is listed as attacker and debuffer, and his shift just pure attack. True Brave Shift, which is always super nice. Super Trust is two-handed fist, 236 attack. He'll get 1000 flat attack and 50% mana and attack. Everybody else will get Killer for Demon, Human, and Machine. I do believe that should be 50%. Don't know why they didn't actually put the percentage there. Regular Trust, Materia, 50% attack, 100% equipment attack. And then 50% limit damage, so not too bad overall if you need the double hand attack. Leader skill, so 600% attack and magic, 200 defense and spirit for fire. Clash of Wills fire, Clash of Wills ice, and Clash of Wills support. And then in morale fights, it's 900 attack and magic and 750 spirit and defense. So decent leader skill overall. So we do know that the Daunting Aura is his field. So it's a 40 fire and peril field and a 30 ice and peril field. And then the Blazing Weapon is his fire boost for the team. So after 3 turns, it's 100% fire boost for the entire party. We also know that his base limit burst does have the 87 full break on it. And then for Frost, so he is attacker debuffer and a super limit burst unit. So according to this, his super limit burst is a full break with katana down, does some morale damage and boosts limit damage for himself. Don't remember seeing any numbers for that myself though. His super materia, so 100% attack, 100% demon and human killer, and 100% dual wield equipment attack. Regular trust, also a materia, 40% attack, 20% evasion, and 100% dual wield. So not bad overall on the materias. His leader skill is 650 attack and magic and 200 defense and spirit, and he covers ice, Clash of Wills ice, Clash of Wills fire, and Clash of Wills support. And then in Clash morale fights goes to 900 attack and magic and 750 defense and spirit. So again, pretty good leader skill. And Frost does have the overbuff that we have on Dwayne and Chow, so we get another unit for that. And then just like Rick, both units will give a materia when they hit EX2. So for Hyoh, you get 50% health, attack, defense, magic, spirit, and fire resist, 50% limit damage, and 20% evasion. So decent overall with a coverage of a bunch of things and evade. And then for Frost, it's 50% mana, attack, defense, magic, spirit, 50% ice and limit damage, and then reduce mana consumed by 20%, which also could be handy for units that need it. So 50% mana with some bulk on it, and reduced mana consumed could be handy in some situations. So we won't know exactly how good the units are until the data mine. I've already seen speculation that it's going to be a near situation with Frost being treated like A2 and Hyoh gets the 2B treatment. But won't know for sure until the data mine to see actual numbers and everything. But both units should be fairly strong, especially for this clash. They're essentially made for this current clash, obviously. As far as pulling myself, I think I'm just going to grab that limited card and stop there. See what I get. If I get lucky, that'd be great. If not, they're not limited, so getting them off banner is fine for me. But everybody that does decide to pull, good luck to you. And just keep in mind as you're deciding what banners to pull for, the card obviously looks like it's going to be the best card for both units. And then you have to keep in mind that the guarantee that's discounted a little bit has no pity tickets. So if you don't get the one you want, you'll end up spending extra to have to go to pity. So you have to weigh the odds on that as far as which bandits to hit. And really, that's all the information that we have. So we're going to end this video here. Hope everybody enjoyed.